Hey everybody, NIFTY fans, welcome back to the NIFTSY Podcast. I'm your host, Eugene, aka Crypto MC, and I am here today with Olga Reinholdt. She is the life coach. We have recorded a lot of videos since 2017 regarding psychology, not crypto. And a week ago, she wrote to me and said, hey Eugene, I do remember that you've been in crypto for a while. Please recommend me how to start. So I thought maybe she's not alone on this way, because she deals with thousands of people all over the world, and maybe they have the same question. So I suggested her to start with recording the podcast for a deep dive into the problem of starting in crypto for the newcomers. So Olga, I'm super excited to have you again on my shows. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for inviting. It's been a while.
First, tell us briefly your personal business story. How do you feel this world with value, with coaching, and what the hell is life coaching in general? How does it help and whom?
I honestly, I'm not sure how to answer that question. Life coaching is, well, there is a standard, right? There are organizations like International Coaching Federation, ICF, that sets up standards, but I personally do not really believe in those standards. Just from my experience, they are very, I think that's bureaucracy behind it. But it's like you bring value the way that you can and the way that you're equipped to bring value. Some motivate, some push you hard, some comfort you, some make you think, some make you not think, you know. So what I do now is I've developed a applied meditation technique that combines yogasana, meditation, self-coaching through writing, directed writing, and, well, feedback from somebody like me to work on a vast array of issues that people just encounter in life. So that's my main I don't want to say job, I guess vocation now.
Totally, I do understand that you love what you do. It looks like that.
Oh yeah.
How did you start thinking about crypto? What were the main reasons for that?
You know, I have this principle. If something is going on in the world informationally, it will get into your brain, whether you want it or not. And I prefer to be in control of what's getting into my brain. So if something is happening in the world, I would rather understand it and be in control of how I perceive it, of what information gets into my brain, of who I listen to, who I filter out, rather than just, you know, that information just like creeping into my into my consciousness, and thus creating illusionary worldview. So I know that crypto is, like, I know it and I feel it, that it is something that is, it's a canary in the mine, you know this thing? It's a sign. It's a sign that something is happening to humanity. It is a sign that something is happening to our civilization. It's a very important sign. And since this is happening and the sign is out there, I want to understand what it is, rather than just getting, you know, the noise signals from different sources and creating a very distorted picture of what's happening.
Great, a lot. It sounds esoteric, I would say.
Of course,
So
of course.
how many people around you, your peers, your clients, your vast community all around the world, are in the same situation, and they also think about cryptocurrencies? And do you have anything else? Why?
A lot. I think everybody I know would do something with cryptocurrency in this or that way. Mostly people want to get on this bandwagon of raising profit. Who can blame them? And I guess I know nothing about that part, honestly. It's like, this is not what I'm really interested in. But yeah, and I think it's great. You invest some money, you get more money. I guess that's cool. That's something I don't know much. But I guess that's the main motivation from what I see. Also, lots of people hear about it with this very conservative, I would say, disgust. You know, like, another thing, another new weird thing coming into our world, and people kind of pushing it back. And I think pushing it back is also interaction. It's a type of interaction, right? So I see the pushback. I see, I guess, and that's my question to you, actually. There is probably a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of scam in this area as well. And some people get caught on that scam because it sounds good. And I think the problem with crypto is that it is in its nature kind of like it is too good to be true. So when you attach to it something that sounds too good to be truth, you're kind of like, well, yeah. I mean, it's easier to believe in some in a scam that really sounds too good to be truth, because it is. It's because it is not truth. When it is attached to the context that is really great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good questions. We'll cover the profit issues, the issues of making money on crypto. Further, now I'm curious, when did you first think about crypto? What were the first free main questions in your head?
Oh, I will give you this question, and maybe it sounds terrible, but I will voice it because it started ringing in my head like 3 years ago when I started learning about what it is. And actually, I think I started looking up crypto because I met you, and because we did the previous podcasts and you started talking about that, because it's creeping into my brain. So I took a few courses to understand what it is. And the part that I had the question. So crypto is supposed to be this decentralized, independent currency, right? And currencies, well, it's power, right? Money is power. So it's supposed to be decentralized. It's supposed to be independent. But from what I understood, maybe I got it totally wrong. People who are mining crypto now, they have to have a really well-equipped facility for that, right? They need to run their computers. There's high output processors. They need to be cooled down. So that's what I heard from my friends who mine crypto, that it takes a lot of electricity to mine crypto. And then I thought, well, if mining crypto takes a lot of electricity, then how is it off the grid if it is literally on a grid? It literally depends on the amount of electricity that your location can provide and that you can buy. So I'm like, it doesn't seem to me that independent. It's strongly tied to something that is government controlled, electricity. So that was my I cannot think of the other two questions that would bother me as much as this one. And maybe the answer is fundamentally easy, simple. I don't know.
Gotcha. How do you try to find the answers on that questions? Search on the internet, watching YouTube videos with friends, or like
I honestly didn't. This is probably the first attempt to get an actual answer. This is just something that I thought about, well, maybe discussed it with my husband, and he's like, I don't know. No, so yeah, maybe you can answer it.
Yeah, is that correct to say that you've been exploring cryptocurrency space for 3 years? It's a lot. And if yes, after first learning the stuff, how would you explain simply for newcomers what is cryptocurrency?
Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that I've been exploring it for 3 years. My main occupation is psychology. And that's what I'm like really exploring. That's where I read scientific work. That's where I read literature. That's where I work. That's my main focus. And I think that to understand something as complex as cryptocurrency, or maybe I'm making it complex in my mind again, I don't know. You need to put about as much attention and effort into it. So no, I cannot say that I've been exploring it. I would say I started looking into it like about 3 years ago. And from that on, I kind of get this dispersed signal. Sometimes I want to look deeper into it. Sometimes I just pass by. So I wouldn't say that I was becoming an expert for 3 years. That would be wrong. What I would explain, how I would explain crypto. I mean, in the simplest sense, it's your money that does not depend on the central bank.
So you got the main idea, yes.
Well, yeah, and like how this money is created. And you know, like we went in terms of money, and the subject of money, that's the subject that I explored a little bit more and a little bit longer, again, from the psychological point of view primarily. But money has always been this physical material thing. And we got so used to think about it as physical and material thing. Well, first of all, because it gets us physical and material things. And well, second of all, because money have been physical and material for a long time, and that's how that's the picture that we have of money in our heads. People who were born after 2000s, they probably have it completely different. But now, the money that say I have, I'm pretty sure they do not exist physically. And in that sense, the money that we're used to, the money that we are using, and the money that we just call money, I don't think that they're that far from the cryptocurrency. They're also digital. They exist in digital space, not in material space, in that sense. But they are controlled by central bank governments. That's the biggest difference. So there should be something, there should be some back, something should back that money up, even if it's an amount of paper that the central bank prints, something should back it up. With crypto, same thing. It's your digital space, you have money there, but it's not controlled by central bank. The value is created by people. The value is in the attention. That's an interesting thing. The value is in the attention that people give to it. It's not the gold. It's not it's not the goods. It's right. It's the attention that people give to it. That's what makes crypto valuable.
I love your explanation. You have got the main idea, right? Have you already realized that crypto is architecturally created and works as your own bank? So that means that nobody in the world can ban, restrict, or limit you with transfer of your money 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But simultaneously comes 100% responsibility for keeping your money safe. So if you lose your private keys or seed phrase, or they were stolen, so your funds are lost forever. Do you understand that?
Yeah, and that's the part that I really love about it, because I think that we as humanity have been delegating responsibility to authority for way too long. And I think it's awesome that we now get this form of money emerging that you again, like in the times when we would, exchange a loaf of bread for furs in the village, that we would again hold ourselves 100% responsible for what's going on in that domain. And the very fact of that it appeared tells us that at least some part of humanity is ready for it. And that's a great sign. I actually feel very optimistic about humanity. I know that now there's all reasons to be pessimistic and like, oh, what's going on with the planet? People are so stupid. No, we just started seeing things that have been boiling for decades, for ages. And I think that we're where it will boil off, and we will see a new level of responsibility, a new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness, a new level of conscientiousness. I think we're getting there. I'm feeling very optimistic about it. And crypto is one of the signs for me that this is happening.
I got it. Well, the important question you have already mentioned consists of the vast majority of people, unfortunately, look on the investment side of crypto assets and not more. They treat crypto as the tool for fiat investments, getting revenues like on shares, company shares, and other securities, and so on. For example, like internet in the 90s was considered as a sort of a post or a phone company. Are you doing the similar way, or you do look more wider on crypto? And do you understand that we deal with the next stage of revolution? We're witnessing the creation of the internet of value, which has never existed before, the so-called Web 3.0 version.
Well, I guess those are the pre-created questions, and I guess by now the answer is obvious. I am not a profit-driven person. And I guess that's what sets me apart from lots of life coaches, because I'm not interested in profit to where maybe it's even, pathological relatively to the culture that I live in. Maybe I should pay a little more attention to my own profits. But I'm not. I'm just a completely different animal. And so the profit part of crypto, the hysteria about how you can easily get the money, is what been pushing me away from it, and what made me cringe. Because again, this is my philosophy. I may be wrong, but I believe that material reaches should be manifestation of personality, should be manifestation of growth, should be manifestation of changes. And simple example, if you were trained as a doctor and you become better and better at saving lives, and thus you get more, your fees become higher, that's healthy. But when you try what's Eric Weinstein called rent seeking, when you want to, in Russian we say, I don't even know how to translate it. I want to have everything and do nothing for it. Я хочу, чтобы у меня все было, и у меня ничего за это не было, да? And that's rent seeking. And that rent seeking tendency became so, I wouldn't say scary, I would say it's petty. This like how to become successful in 3 days, how to have lots of material value and not make effort for it. You know what is uncontrolled growth? It's called cancer. Uncontrolled growth of material well-being is a cancer of humanity, of society. It's anthropological cancer, and I do not like it. So the concept that I can put $100 and I can get $15,000 without doing anything, just by catching the wave, like, yeah, you can do it. You can get it, probably, I don't know. But it is, so you remain the same person that put $100 in. You didn't change. You didn't invest into the world. You didn't contribute. You didn't you didn't become smarter. You didn't discover anything. You didn't help anybody live better, but you get more material stuff because you were in the right place in the right time. That to me is psychological and anthropological cancer. So I don't like that profit-seeking and rent-seeking aspect of crypto. I think people should understand that crypto it's freedom, and with freedom comes responsibility. And growing responsibility, growing up, developing that responsibility is the natural way that our psyche is supposed to do that. That's how we designed to become more and more responsible, to grow responsibility. Unfortunately, the 20th century has been such a especially post Second World War, especially in the Western world, in post-Soviet area, it's been a little different. But we caught up with it. Responsibility, I don't know. Adults now act like teenagers. It looks like lots of adults never grew out of their teenager ways. And that's a petty tendency. And I think that the sense of responsibility coming from monetary aspect of life, I mean, it's great. It's motivating. But if you don't learn to be responsible by having a family, by having children, by, I don't know, creating something, by becoming an employer, by, doing whatever, starting a garden, freaking garden, something that makes you responsible for something. If you don't learn responsibility through that, but crypto gives you incentive, awesome.
Cool. I love it. I love it. Let's go more practical side. How do you see cryptocurrencies may have been used in your coaching business, for example? Will you, for example, accept payments in crypto from your clients, or will you pay in crypto for any stuff in your life and so on and so forth?
When I set up doing that, and when that becomes possible, it will be the happiest day, probably not of my life, but of my business. I don't see it possible right now. I mean, going solely crypto. Don't see it possible right now. But when it becomes possible, oh my gosh, that would solve so many issues. I hate PayPal. I cannot wait till I get off PayPal and people like PayPal, such as, because I have really bad experience, and it's not technological experience. Again, it's ideological experience with the current online payment system. I think that they are they're being entitled without big reasons for that. So it's kind of like a dog in the pile of a straw. Doesn't eat it, doesn't use it, doesn't let anybody use it. It's technology allowed them to help people transfer money. And they didn't even create, like Elon Musk created PayPal. He does nothing with it now. But those custom managers or account managers in PayPal who created nothing, they were just hired to do a set of I wouldn't even call it responsibilities, just to do a set of actions. They act so entitled. That is disgusting, and I think that power should be taken away from those people as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it's still there.
Yeah, our podcast is called NIFTSY Podcast, and its general purpose is to explore the NFT or non-fungible token realm. I don't know. Did you hear anything about NFT or non-fungible tokens? What is that? Which have been in hype since 2020. Digital art space, Beeple, NBA Top Shot, blockchain games, metaverse, so on and so forth. Did you ever hear?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's no problem. So let's go further. What would you suggest for the newcomers in crypto, for ladies and gentlemen like you, from what to start? First learning the stuff, or first go on, let's say, the Coinbase, and we're not in Coinbase, and buy your first crypto?
I'm being boring there, because I suggest the same thing to everybody. Understand your goals. Be very, very precise about your goals, and be very conscious about your goals. And make sure that those are your goals and not something that has been put into your head. If you've been in a society where this rent-seeking thing is considered glorious, right? Oh, this guy made thousands of dollars doing nothing, yay to him, our hero. Well, I mean, that's a way of approaching life. But if you've been in that community for long enough, that value would creep on you, but maybe this is not your real value. Maybe your satisfaction in life will not come from rent seeking. And you got to really understand it. Getting more money fast comes from the scarcity mindset, or from the situation, the particular situation where you just face, I wish I had more money because I cannot pay my bills, because I want to buy this thing that I can afford, like this moments of weakness. And in this moments of weakness, you just want this genie come out of the bottle and make your wish come true, make you a prince. It's like, I don't want to make effort, I just want this thing to fix itself. And yeah, those moments of weakness also can dictate goals to us. It's like, I just want to make more money. No, it's your moment of weakness. It's not your goal. You're just trying to fix the problem. These are not the same. So, and I developed meditations and self-coaching techniques that help to really understand your true goal, because the true goal gives you resources. When you find your true goal, when you find your true vector, where you should, the direction where you are designed to, and you get, everything helps you, the world helps you. You get resources, you meet people, you start understanding things, you're in the flow. So I would say same thing. If you want to get into crypto, understand why, because this is something new and you want to understand it, because this is how you want to make a living. I don't know, is it possible now? People make living out of crypto? I guess there are. I never met people like that, but maybe because you want to be part of creation, and you want to, I don't know, develop your own crypto coin. Understand your goals, what it is you want to get from it, and be honest with it. I would say that would be the first step, because I guess everything else is technical.
Super, sounds extremely honestly. I love it. The balance question I would love to ask you, you're dealing with two great parts of the world community. And first is the post-Soviet Russian-speaking community, and a developing community, and the second is community of the developed world, the US, North America, and so on community. Do you see any difference in perception of crypto, understanding of crypto philosophically on these two parts of the world? Do Americans and Russians perceive crypto similarly or differently?
Well, first of all, there are Russians that really try to act like they're Americans. So I think there's a separate group. Of course, well, America is a capitalist country. So they have this capitalist approach to crypto. America's culture is investment culture, and it's a stable investment culture. So Americans believe in investment. In America, you can see things like, this pension saving, IRA, Roth IRA, where people put money in the savings account, it grows, da, da, da. So people believe that, and that's and that's like that's the clash of mentalities. So my husband would project, like, this is what I will get with this growth. Like, how do you know that this growth will be happening? Because it has been happening for the previous years. Well, growth is happening because there's some market events supported, right? Like companies growing, market is growing, things happen. The way that market has been growing in America after the Second World War will not necessarily continue. If you kick a ball, it rolls fast, but you cannot expect it to roll in the same way forever. It slows down. So, and I am the one who, I was born in times of perestroika, and I saw my grandparents' saving burning to ashes. and then my parents' savings burning to ashes, and then my own savings burning to ashes. I would not so blindly expect that the same growth will be happening, because it has been happening. Yes, it has been happening. Something caused it to happen. We now have different market situations change, and expecting that the growth will happen is, to me, not substantiated. But then again, I have a different bias. So they have a bias of stability of investment. We, in a post-Soviet area, I think, have a bias, like a completely opposite bias, the bias of total instability, distrust to investment whatsoever. Like, the investment as we saw it was MMM, and it was complete scam. There was no other big name, commonly accepted investment venture in our area. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are investment technologies and opportunities and everything now, but they're not commonly known. They're not within the culture. There are small subcultural groups that don't talk to each other. So I think that would be the biggest difference when we speak of crypto, is that we have counter investment bias. We have the bias of like, live here and now in terms of money, because you never know what happens tomorrow. Western world, America, they have the bias of stability. Also not necessarily true, also something that, people cause mistakes and cause trouble for people, but that's the bias that exists. I think that's the biggest difference. How exactly it affects behavior towards crypto, I don't know. I think that, again, my speculation, I think that in America, people see crypto as another way to get more profit. In Russia, people see crypto as another way to experiment, create, research, search, play with, like doing it. So I think that's the biggest mentality difference.
Great answer. Now, in Austrian economics, the economic theory I'm especially a huge fan of, there's a measured category named time preference. And that you were talking right now about is the level of time preference. In post-Soviet countries, the time preference level is high. We want to live faster, die faster. We don't think about saving, investments, transfer. And the Western world is with low time preference. They collect collections. Sorry, I forgot the word. They make investments. That's why that's
trust
mentality.
My husband's great grandparents established a trust that will be disseminated after my husband dies. It's like 5 generations. You're giving
we cannot
money
even imagine
how
it'd be 5 generations. We don't even
5 generations.
Third generation first.
and you think it's reasonable. It's like it, and maybe it, I don't know. It doesn't. It's like I don't want. I would never in my straight mind think about giving money to my great grandchildren. They'll figure it out.
Definitely. So Olga, it's been an extremely interesting talk to you. It was interesting to talk to you, but today I see you from the other side, and thank you very much for that talk. How to follow you on the internet for people who want to follow you, and where to meet you offline if you are conducting events or speaking on different events in the US, maybe.
I'm mostly online, especially now. I'm not very socially active in general, but now that I have a new baby, I'm not socially active at all. So I'm active online. For English speakers, they can go to olgareinholdt.com. That's my website. For Russian speakers, they can go to olgareinholdt.ru and take it from there. There's links to my social media there. There's my services, my free materials, everything is on those websites. I have way more in Russian than in English, but got something in English too. Look me up on Google, I don't know. I think, I have a Medium blog in English, also Olga_Reinholdt.
Cool. All the links are written down below in the description of this video. Please pay attention for Russian-speaking and English-speaking audience. So, ladies and gentlemen, you were watching to the NIFTSY Podcast. It is supported by the NIFTSY protocol. Please like, share, comment, subscribe on the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell button for not missing the future episodes we try to publish daily. Olga Reinholdt and Eugene, aka Crypto MC, we're with you. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next episodes. Bye-bye.